Welcome to the XY Sexy, you crazy jammer. We're exotic, yayo. We would like to thank our sponsor, Social Ubiquity. You need SEO help? They're everywhere. You should check them out. And mention Exotic Yayo, get 5% off your whole entire everything because you know us, baby. And we're keeping your pocket sexy. Let me introduce all these bad mother jammers. The man in the red hat. He ain't no monkey. We got Rod the Bass Rider, baby. No Curious George in here. You know who he is. Then, not far from him, either to the left or to the right. I don't know what kind of computer you're looking at, but we got the Dr. C Orange, baby. Give it up to the doctor. Snaps off, baby. Snaps off. Now, hey, look at them snaps. A little delayed, but that's okay. We got C Rome off the dome giving it to you in his sexy studio. Look at that porno stash. That's C Rome, baby. Give it up.
What are winters for, right?
That's right, baby. That's right. And I can tell you right now, I'm Stew Sauce. We're going to keep things saucy and we're adding flavor to your party, baby. We're Exotic Yayo again. If you don't know, now you know, yo. And in the words of Santa Claus, baby, ho, ho, ho. We doing it for you, baby. Ho, ho, hows.
Ooh, that's a nice touch. Shouting out to all the ho-ho-hos, right?
Hey, man, you know
Speaking
what?
Of ho-ho-hos, we should promote our videos. Tis the season, right?
We should promote our videos.
What happens if I type in Exotic Yayo ho ho ho? Does it happen?
I don't know, man.
We don't get what I wanted to see.
No.
You might find something on like the tube of porn. No, I'm kidding. I hope not. But if we do, then it's okay too, baby. It's okay. No harm, no foul.
This is what we want to promote.
That's the one. That's the one right there.
This is what happened. Yeah. You know what? We should change our tags. When you type in Exotic Yayo hose, ho ho ho, ho ho hos, all those iterations, this is what should come up. Mr. Snowman.
Hey yo yayo.
Get
our SEO guys on that, Stu.
Yes.
I will talk to our SEO guy today, baby. Coming for you, SEO man. Coming for you. Yep. Social ubiquity. They got to know because we want them to make so every time they look up ho ho ho, they come to Exotic Yayo. Hey yo yayo. I feel like Dr. Seuss, except I don't have the same degree as that guy.
We only have one doctor in this band. Only room for one.
That's right. And it ain't Dr. Phil.
No, a real
MD.
Maybe a little
from Miami.
I'm kidding.
People from Miami still greet me with "Hey yo" these days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still to this day.
Wow.
That's such an honor.
I know, right? It actually is.
So let's get into our show.
Oh man.
Let's indeed.
Let's do it. You know who got all the ho ho hos was these cats we're gonna be chatting about, man. Those BG guys, man. What do you know about them BGs, yo? Other than they're my favorite letters of the alphabet.
They are the kings of falsetto, I would say.
No doubt. Before there was Frank. What was that?
Beautiful voices for some ugly guys, bro. Well, that one guy in the middle is a pretty ugly dude, but his voice was immaculate.
And he got the
Not gonna lie.
ho-hos, rumor has it.
He got the most, right?
That's what they say.
I believe that. That's how it goes.
When you look like that, you should get all the ho-hos, bro. You need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he was blessed in other ways. He got a beautiful voice.
No doubt. But I mean, rightfully so. If I had to put my money on it, I mean, look at this Barry guy. This is where
I know, right?
Barry was clearly the closest thing to a looker in this band.
Yeah, he got the best of
Honestly,
the
he looks like Mufasa straight up.
Mufasa.
Yeah, he hogged them all up.
He definitely got the hairline.
I don't care what they listen. Yeah, that's true. I don't care what they look like. They are like the kings of disco. Okay, and we'll jump into that in a minute. But Yeah, they really weren't too easy on the eyes. I think they were the earliest version of like the hair band, I guess, if you want to call it that. They all had great hair, you know.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, right.
Andy not pictured, actually. Andy deserves some recognition for his hair as well.
Right. And I believe forgot which one it was. As they got older, he started wearing more hats and he had eyeglasses and stuff. But Barry, he kept his hair, you know, he kept his hair. So
it's the one who was losing his hair. That's
yeah.
the one.
Oh man. Well, if it makes the audience feel better, I wear this hat because I like hats, not because I'm losing my hair, baby. Not yet, anyways. I don't want to spoiler alert. Dude, let me say, these guys, awesome radio voices, awesome radio faces. These guys were great. Definitely favorite radio. Like we said, I can't get enough of that sugar crisp. But yeah, dude, I have to tell you, I would just like to jump in it. I hate to just let it go to the sideline. Can I just jump in there and tell you all my favorite song by these guys?
Jump in.
Yeah, get in there.
So my favorite song by these cats has got to be "How Deep Is Your Love." It's my favorite song to play on the guitar, like hands down. I learned that song, all those changes over that D chord. You want to give somebody the D, that's the song to do it to, baby. That whole song is down on the D chords that way. Even Rod's like wording that song. He's rocking that hat like that one Bee Gees guy with the hats and the funny glasses. That's how much he loves that song.
I mean, the vocal there is it's amazing. It's probably their best vocal performance. I would definitely say so. And it's been covered by a variety of people, most of them female.
Because they hit those highs.
Yeah, I know this.
Isn't Beyonce one of them? Didn't Beyonce cover this too?
I think Destiny's Child did a version of it. I could be wrong, but
or was it the other one? Was it
Kelly Rowland?
No. The other song they do, the river. I forget.
That leads to your ocean.
Whatever. Yeah, maybe that's the one.
Is that the
one? Anyways, doesn't matter. This has been covered by a ton of people, anyways. I mean,
yeah,
it's amazing. They're amazing. This is an amazing song.
My goodness.
Let's settle this. We'll come back to this. This is terrible. There's a disambiguation on how deep is your love because of freaking Calvin Harris.
Oh, there you go. That's the most recent one.
It's not even a cover. It's a completely different song that just takes the title for SEO. So now they have to split the Google homepage. And when you Wikipedia it asks, what are you looking for? Instead of taking you where it should take you.
Right.
Yeah, to the goddamn Bee Gees, baby. That's where you're supposed to go when you're looking for that deep love. Deep love. Made especially bad, the Bee Gees.
The song is such a powerful, track, as dated as it is. I'll say this, and I think we talked about it maybe a couple of weeks ago. But PJ Morton, if the name sounds familiar, he's Maroon 5's touring keyboard player. And he's a solo artist in his own right. And I believe in 2018, he came out with an album titled Gumbo. Now, he's from New Orleans, so he went back home to record this album. And he covered How Deep Is Your Love? Okay. And he featured, I believe the young woman's name was ABBA. I could be wrong. I could be right. Yeah, not the band. No, not the band. I believe this young woman, her name is ABBA. That's her artist name, but I could be wrong. Look it up.
Yabba. I got you.
Thank you very much. I knew I was close, but not quite there. And the performance, I believe it won them a Grammy. So, yeah. Now I challenge you to go ahead and listen to that version on your own time. I'm a PJ Morton fan. So to hear that he most definitely, along with Yabba, they paid such a nice tribute to to the Bee Gees on that one. I mean, that Grammy was well deserved. Did the Bee Gees win a Grammy for that? Does anyone know?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I don't know if they won any
Yeah.
Grammys. I know they got a lot of hate. You know, they took the end of that disco era. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they took a lot of hate before, you know, getting their resurgence in the 2000s. I think is when they got their resurgence.
Oh, okay.
The Bee Gees took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking like they didn't get any nominations or. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have gotten the recognition, but went number 1 in Brazil, Canada, Finland, France, 2 in Ireland, Italy, and South Africa, and number 1 in basic Billboard Hot 100, adult contemporary, everything.
They got the recognition that matters. They got the recognition in their bank accounts. All right.
Yes.
Grammys and all that. We all know that those things are. You know, right now there's a whole controversy going on. And, you know, artists are complaining about how corrupt the Grammys are. But I don't think that's a secret. I think everyone knew that. You know, that those award shows didn't really mean all that much. They haven't meant all that much in a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it takes away from the Bee Gees that they never won one or were nominated. Mm-hmm. Their music is played on the radio to this day. That says enough. That says more than any award or anything else. You know what I'm saying? So
I swear I heard them today on the radio. Like they did the music to, what was it? Grease is the Word, right? With that Frankie Valli did. They did the music to Grease is the Word of you word.
Frankie Valli wrote that, but they performed it. So and a lot of people say that. Yeah, a lot of people said that he was the influence for their style as well, which he was the king of falsetto before that. So
yeah,
you know, that's for sure.
Until they snatched the crown and divided it in 3. And I think the beautiful thing about this song too, and the thing that gets lost, and I'm just saying this because incidentally my dad had the documentary on this weekend. I walked into my house. Oh wow, okay, this is
what, a Bee Gees documentary?
Yeah, perfect timing, right?
Where was it? Is it on Netflix?
He doesn't work Netflix. I'm sure it was HBO.
It doesn't matter. I'll find it.
You'll find it.
These things.
Yeah, it won't be hard to find it. Bee Gees documentary.
No, exactly.
But they're you know, in post 78 Chicago disco burning, they were trying to buck the whole idea that they're just a disco band, and this is one of the best pop ballads, one of the best love songs there ever was. And you know, it's arguable that they have 2 of the top 10, maybe 2 of the top 5, if you really give them the credit for that. I mean, it's debatable, but I can't think of a better love song band off the top of my head, and this is one of the 2 big reasons why.
Nice. Yeah, no, I already said what I wanted to say. This is a dope song. Me and Stu fought to the death to get to pick this one, and he died. Yeah, I died. So
no. You didn't die. You did the opposite. What did you do? What did you do?
I stayed alive.
Ali?
That's right. I stayed alive. That became my song. Yes. And as usual, I tend to pick the ultimate classic of each group that we do. But I mean, you can't deny that song is something else. I think it's been played in God knows how many movies it's been in. And that strut from their video, when music videos weren't even really a thing yet, you know. But they had their music video for that, and Barry's doing that strut, and that strut's been copied in movies so many times and TV shows. It's almost like that song and that strut cannot be separated from each other. You know, it's like they go together.
Even in that movie, what was that one movie where that like song came on and the strut pops off at the beginning?
You mean Staying Alive?
Is that the name of the movie? Saturday Night Fever, I thought was the name.
Saturday Night Fever, yeah, Saturday Night Fever.
Bro, you were alive for that, like when it came out.
Hey. That's not true, first of all. We all know you failed math, but that's a little bad.
I don't know who just got burned worse, but
I'd say it's the man in the orange hat. Red hat.
Yeah,
I'm colorblind. I'm wearing sunglasses on the
inside. So with all that, him being bad at math and being colorblind, I'm still the one who got burnt the worst. So anyway, but yeah, Staying Alive is a classic. I think everyone knows that. I think I think that's, if you have to pick a top 10 of songs that everyone knows, Staying Alive would definitely be one of the top 10 for sure. I think everyone. I think there's Aboriginal tribes in the middle of Australia that you would play Staying Alive, and they're going to start strutting through their village. You know, it's like,
yep.
That thing's universal. It's truly universal. It embodies not only the Bee Gees but disco as well. And it's actually a pretty simple song, all in all. But so recognizable. You know, so classic. And Staying Alive keeps you alive.
That guitar riff, man. That guitar riff in the beginning, bro, like, is so iconic. That like, so bassy and everything. Like, I mean, dude, it drives. That is like, to me, if there's a certain riff to a song and you can tell what it is as soon as like the first 3 seconds of the song happens, and you know it's a banger. Ooh, Staying Alive is a banger, man. That's a banger and a half, dude. I love that song. I mean, that song inspired the riff. The riff inspired Trip the Lights. The same that riff from Staying Alive. So for all those who are listening to Trip the Lights, that really cool riff in the beginning of our song is very inspired by the riff in Staying Alive.
Word. By way of this documentary, I got to learn that this was made on a drum loop, and they fully
maybe it's on my end.
Oh yeah, Rod, you're in and out. We got you. We got you back.
You're like Clockwork Orange, bro.
Is that what the orange stands for?
Bad reference. If you're a Kubrick fan, it must be.
So it was written on a drum loop. So they got their tape machine and they throw on a loop. These days that's super common. That's how every hip hop track is written. That's how most pop tracks are written. But back then it involves actually, getting the record, the tape onto an actual loop and having it cycle back. And at that time, drum machines and drum loops were not the norm. It was completely different, and it was supposed to be a placeholder. So they put the drum loop, and they're like, "Oh wow, this is a cool groove. Okay, this hits hard. The bass line gets written, the guitar line gets written, the rest of the song gets written." And then, sure enough, they don't even bother to call the drummer. They said, "You know what? We like this drum loop. We're gonna keep it. And of course, you can play it live, but we're gonna keep the drum loop, and that's gonna be the song." And now, 30, 40, 50 years later, that's how songs get written. But at the time, that was unprecedented and almost kind of dangerous to have a record without an actual drummer.
How do you feel about that, Cody? No drummer on a record.
I don't know if I feel any type of way about it, really. I think, to what Caleb just said, that just shows that some of the greatest songs ever written, are either provided by a drum loop, a drum sample, or an incredible drummer that can play the same thing over and over. And I'm not talking about for 3 minutes. I'm talking about for a studio version of 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes.
Anything by James Brown,
right? Anything by James Brown, or let's take early Prince. I just think the Bee Gees really captured that, at least on that song, But in terms of how that translates over towards, where music is today, it's nothing new. These are techniques that, again, you just said we've seen them before. But I like to think that the idea of live instrumentation, it's not going anywhere, at least in the core of what a band is, I hope that answers your question.
Well, I think with whenever you go to a large act, like a major act. Every time I've been to see a major act, and even though they're not known for live music at all. Oftentimes they're pop artists or something like that. But every time I've seen a major act like that, they always have a live band. Always,
Yeah.
I don't want to get too sidetracked on other artists, but one of the concerts that I remember the best is I got dragged to a Janet Jackson concert. I was just visiting a friend of mine, and she says, "Hey, you want to go to a Janet Jackson concert?" And I was like, "Of course not."
This was pre-Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, is it pre-Super Bowl?
After that, everybody
with that lack of excitement, of course it was.
Yeah, it's definitely pre-Super Bowl. And then she's like, "You won't have to pay your ticket." I'm like, "Yeah, still no." And she's like, "I got 4 other friends of mine going with me, and they're all girls." Okay, I'll go to the Janet Jackson concert. And
you're definitely seeing boobies tonight.
Yeah.
Boobies.
And I was boobies. And I was shocked, actually. I was shocked at how good that was. And she had a whole live band behind her. And I've seen that time and time again from many major acts. Like we discussed it on our first Michael Jackson pod. You see it, and this is it. He has a full band. And a lot of these major pop acts, actually, the ones that are killing live music, so to speak, they're the ones who are really bringing, the live, live musicians up on stage. And so I don't think it's ever going to die, honestly. I think live, when you can do live with a musician, there's no amount of programming that can ever possibly equal that. Starting with the drums, let's start with that, Probably the easiest one to
Cody, are you familiar
automate away
with JD Beck?
Say it again.
My fault. I thought you were done, Rod. You got a bit of a lag. But Cody, are you familiar with JD Beck?
Yeah, man. That kid's incredible.
Yeah. How old is he? Like 14, 15?
He's got to be 15 or 16 now, but I remember checking him out when he was like 13, and I thought it was weird because he's still a kid, but
yeah.
He's like, I dropped out of school so I could play drums, and he's a real force to be reckoned with. Him and who's his little writing partner? Dami Keith. Thank you very much. I think music moving in that direction, you're right, Rod. Live music will never ever go away. It's that kid's like a machine. I look up to him.
Yeah. So the reason I bring him up, must be 15-year-old and Dami Keith, who maybe she's 17, 18, a couple years older than him. The two of them first got linked into that scene through, I believe Anderson .Paak was their first way in.
Okay.
But recently, they teamed up with Thundercat to be Ariana Grande's band.
Yep.
And if Ariana Grande is bringing around a band like that, with that talent, music ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
No, that was nasty. I saw that.
Yeah.
Dude, Thundercat on bass, ridiculous, bro. Thundercat on bass was ridiculous with Ariana Grande on vocals, man. Like, the track sounded great. I wish, like, the only thing I could hope more for from pop music is that, like, when they're really singing, if they could bring that same energy as if they were, like, Milli Vanilli in it, dude, that'd be the greatest. Like, because you see Thundercat going all out, balls to the wall. You see the whole band going crazy, but Ariana Grande is so reserved. She ain't the guy from Tool, like that's his character. She's supposed to be a little bigger than that, like her character is supposed to be as big as her hair, and her hair ain't even hers, which means her personality should be bigger than her regular personality, like her hair.
These are some fighting words, man. These are fighting words
for real.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought JD Dummy were playing
Pete Davidson. I like Pete Davidson. He's a good guy.
All right, so we're Team Pete over here. Got it.
Yeah, we're getting off.
I mean, he rebounded just fine. Yeah. With that said, we should definitely jump back into the Bee Gees. And I'll jump in with a song that I don't even think of for the drums. And this is not to pile on. I just think that there's songs get written very differently. Some songs get written on the piano. Songs get written from a groove on the bass. Songs start with a drum beat. Some songs start with an acoustic guitar, and then they flesh out in the studio to become part of the whole, right? Part of the album. So, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack was designed to match a movie, right? And match the kind of progression of that film, and as well as teaching people how to go to the club. Because frankly, that's what it was. It was an advertisement for clubbing, in the 70s. Kind of like the Jersey Shore was in the 2000s. I think one of the most impactful songs in that film for me is also my favorite song by the Bee Gees, and it's "More Than a Woman." And the reason is my dad said the other night when he was watching this documentary, the Bee Gees are my Beatles. So stick with that statement. For so many people, the Beatles are the undisputed heavyweight champion of band music. And my dad grew up in Cuba, so everything kind of came on a lag. He was born in 1962, so he would have been 16 when that movie came out, very impressionable. But in Cuba, you didn't have people on the radio in middle America saying disco sucks, let's burn all your disco records, which was, of course, a front to burn black records and shut down gay people who were loving the clubbing scene and the disco scene. All that was missed, and they got to love disco well into the 80s because for them it was fresh. It was coming in late on a lag. And so he has this impression. And then he meets my mother. My mother goes to Cuba on a vacation, and they eventually fall in love, get married, and 3 kids later, we're being raised on the Bee Gees. Car rides to the mall, car rides to the beach, whatever. Bee Gees are always playing the way that many households from a generation or two before me would have had the Beatles always playing. And the song where my mom would come out of her, goth, synthwave, punk kind of vibes. I like The Cure and I like The Clash was always More Than a Woman. And whenever that song would come on, my parents just looked like a match made in heaven. And I had that memory kind of stuck with me. So when things got hard, as couples do and relationships and family do, the antidote was always More Than a Woman.
Wow.
And it just became that love song for me that even in my I like Green Day, I like fucking shit up and tattoos. I like messing things up and tattoos, and I'm pumped. And I'm debating whether or not I should wear eyeliner right now. But Bee Gees, I'm so lame. This song's so good. That was the only song that could pull me out of my 7th grade. I want to be a misfit because that's my identity. It was always the Bee Gees. So, More Than a Woman. It's the antidote to all things angsty.
I'm glad it was the antidote to you wearing eyeliner, bro.
I never did. Thanks, Bee Gees.
Imagine that. Imagine that. The Bee Gees is the band that kept you from wearing eyeliner. Talk about irony.
Yeah, man. Yeah, wow. Man. For better or for worse, I could have been in the
1980s. For making care, it saved our guy from eyeliner. Everything else questionable. No. No. No, that's awesome, man. I love their music, dude. That's a great song too. More Than a Woman to Me. Like the whole hook, the hook about that song was great.
The strings are so sweeping, man. Oof.
It's perfect.
You know what it feels like? It feels like spinning. Like that's to me what I imagine a roller disco in my head.
Oh,
it's always More Than a Woman.
Oh, come on.
The disco ball,
it's like you're in my head right now.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah, you're in my head right now. Can I go? Can I say my song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my song is Jive Talking. Jive Talking. Yeah, check it out. And I don't have any story about the song, but the reason why I kept on skinning and grinning is because in my head I'm just thinking, damn man, all of the Bee Gees songs that I know of, everything that we talked about tonight, I just can't help but think of like the roller rink. You know, like I know it sounds funny, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna gather my thoughts. A lot of times we'll hear about how music, you know, brings back memories. You remember where you were when you heard this song. I wasn't born in the 70s. I didn't grow up in the 70s. I'm glad I was nowhere near the 70s. I'm a 90s baby. But every time that I went to the roller rink, they would play Outkast, they would play Green Day, they would play Mambo Number 5, and then they would play oh my god.
The only one that sounds right for that moment.
And listen, I can just tell you right now, I remember falling down every damn time I put on a pair of skates. And I can remember where I was, where I fell in the rink, how I felt when I got up. And it was always, at some point, it was Barry Gibbs' little peak in Staying Alive. You know? And I'm like, oh God. I'm tickled when I think about it. You know, music really does, it anchors your emotions, you know? So this is the most you'll ever see me smile on this show without a mask. But oh my God, I can't help but think. But anyway, all right, I'll get back to Jive Talking. The only thing that really, you know, makes me love that song completely, it's very disco, yes. But if you listen to all of the Bee Gees songs, just take the 4 that we named tonight. As a drummer, you know, all of those parts are different. So whether that's a live drummer or that's all programmed, it's a loop, all those parts are different. And I think that speaks to what disco was at that time. As long as it was, you know, 4 on the floor, it was driving, it made you want to do that, you know, little disco move. It was in, it was hot, it was popping, you know. And I know we started off the show and I said, you know, the Bee Gees, they were the kings of disco. The movie really brought all that to light. But listen, to this very day, if you play a Bee Gees song, you can't help but just be like, damn, it makes me move, man. You know, it feels so good, you know? And I think a lot of what we try to do, or we've tried to do in the past, has been guided by music and the stylings of the Bee Gees. If not vocally, then definitely just how we play the music, you know, the way it's arranged, how we bring it live, you know. I don't know. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. No matter what song we play of our upbeat repertoire, there's always somebody dancing, either on stage or off stage.
Well,
you know. Yeah.
Yeah, we're always trying to have the same effect that the Bee Gees had. That's definitely something we were trying to do. We were trying to bring feel good vibes, and I was never happier than being on stage and watching the whole room dancing. That was always better than any pay, better than any award, better than anything ever.
Yeah.
When I was up on stage and the whole room was dancing and moving, I mean that was the best part always. So
yeah,
I would agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah. So I mean, there it is. It's right there, you know, and it's self-explanatory. Anyway, I'm done. My song is Jive Talking. You probably don't know how it goes. It has a really nice little keyboard. Yeah, Rod, you can sing all their songs, man. I know you. You ain't no old man either, but you know all their songs. Where's that little keyboard part? It's perfect. Listen to it.
I'm not gonna lie. It's the more appropriate. It's like the getting warmed up, more appropriate disco, roller disco.
Mm-hmm.
More Than a Woman is like
slow skate.
If there was a figure skating disco, I think that would be the better fit. But Jive Talking, it's like a slow jam that you still dance to, and you don't slow dance. You still kind of do your own thing, but it's just it works on a down tempo groove. I don't know how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a down tempo 2-step.
Yes,
dude. I can't help but to like agree, like that whole like how everything Bee Gees kind of makes me think of like the roller rink thing as well. Like I can't help but think of like that one John Travolta character meets like the characters from Boogie Nights, and like I'm not saying that I want everybody to like feel like they're freak nasty porn stars out there and everything, but hey man, if the shoe fits and you're rocking the Bee Gees, yo, born to be a porn star, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, get freak nasty. I love that.
Listen,
I like feeling
think
like a porn star listening to the Bee Gees, baby.
Let me say this. I think there's a huge gap between the John Travolta character and Dirk Diggler, okay? So
damn.
I don't see it different.
Yeah, okay.
Stu doesn't appreciate nuance.
Not at all.
Should we try and rank?
I don't know what the nuance is.
Yes, let's try and rank them. Let's do it.
All right, number 4. Why don't you go first, Stu?
I have to go with Jive Talking.
Say it. I know you want to say it.
Jive Talking. I mean, I don't know the song, so I Pikachu, I choose you.
Oh, you probably know it to hear it. I had to remind myself too, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I know that song. Of course I do."
Oh, I mean, even if I already knew the song, I like the other 3 songs more. I mean, the other 3 really stand out to me, and I mean, the other songs make me want to get freak nasty, and I need to hear the other one, so I know to get freak nasty to that song too, Cody.
I got you.
Yeah, it's definitely. If I had to make kind of sequence them in order of your date, it's like your cab home, Jive Talking. So I can understand why, chronologically you'd keep it fourth. I have to agree. I think that actually I don't think Staying Alive is part of this date. To be honest, I think that that's the kind of closest thing to punk rock the Bee Gees ever did, and I mean that in the most like praising, respectful way. I thought that the kind of ethical challenge that it highlighted was really interesting, considering what the rest of the Bee Gees discography did. And to pull a quote from your book, Cody, it's an awesome number 4. You don't ever say it that nicely, but I will for you.
At least it made the top 4.
Right.
It's a great song.
It is. It is. I'm not going to delay it. Listen, Jive Talking is my number 4 too. It is. At least it's there in the top 4.
Hey, no other number 4 puts a smile on my face like Jive Talking, not to this date.
Proudly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and agree with you guys. I'm also going to go with Jive Talking. I mean, all 4 are really cool songs, and this is one of those artists. I didn't have to do any research for this artist, not because I was from the 70s, Stu.
Hey, I just called it Sade.
That's the 80s.
Well, you're from there.
But anyways, no, the Bee Gees are awesome. They have more songs. They have several more that could easily fit in this top 4. So.
But they didn't.
But they didn't. We didn't do an honorable mention for this one, but Jive Talking is definitely a good number 4. Let's go with number 3. Let's go, Stu.
Oh, my number 3. Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna have to say, More Than a Woman is gonna be my number 3. I know I'm just surprising Rod today because Rod is just waiting for me to pick his song. I could see the way he tilts his hat at me, like, yeah, you want to pick it. You want to pick it. Like, thank you very much, good sir. And so, like, I have to say, I love More Than a Woman. I like women. Women are sexy, and that song is sexy, but not as sexy as the other 2 songs. So suck it up, Buttercup. That song is good, but not good enough. Still makes me want to get sexy, though. So it's awesome, but not awesome enough.
So you have you got Jive Talking in your cab home. you got to convince the girl to get in your door, right? More than a
woman.
Not even mad at you, bro.
For that reason, it's my number 3 as well. I kind of think we're gonna be unanimous here. I don't know. Actually, the top 2 give us a toss-up, but I've given this some thought too, because I think of More Than a Woman and How Deep Is Your Love as 2 of the top 5 to 10, 15 at worst love songs ever. And I have in that ranking How Deep Is Your Love on top 2. So by default, that puts More Than a Woman as 3rd. And I think that there's something a little bit more ambiguous and all-encompassing. More Than a Woman is your like cis hetero male love song, right? How Deep Is Your Love? Anyone can love that song and relate to it because everyone's love is about death, right? Yep. Regardless of how you love.
Nice.
Yeah. Perfect.
It sounds like you're looking out for all the non-binary, genderless sentients out there loving the Bee Gees, bro. And I'm not mad at that. That's a good, what is that, like 33% of our audience knowing that like the other 66% choose of the binary?
You know, it was the 70s and they had a certain way of communicating. It clearly wasn't gone by the 80s. See anything Axl Rose ever said. But no, I think both songs are as close to timeless as songs get. I just think that if you had to pick one of the 2 to take to Mars, what up, Elon? I'd take How Deep Is
Your Love? You take Elon? You're ready.
I bet you would. You take
space. Hey, man.
I know what you want to say. Take me to Mars, Elon.
Take me to Mars, Elon.
And then you're probably gonna hang out with Joe Rogan up there with them, man. Get down on that podcast.
How deep are your pockets? That's it.
Doctor,
what's your say, Cody?
All right. Well, it should come as no surprise. My number 3, More Than a Woman. Okay. I'm not going to embellish that anymore. Number 3, strong, firm, More Than a Woman. At least it's number 3. Hey.
And I will go ahead and concur yet again. Look at this. This might be the first time we all ever agree all the way through. Might be. We don't know yet.
We'll see.
Which I think that this is going to be unanimous up to this point.
Did you say
Stu? What I did there? Yes, I did because I started this ish. What, mother jammer? Look what I can do.
What's your 2 and 1, Stu Sauce? Unanimous.
My number 2 and my number 1 songs are 70s, the C-Rome's Mustache. And that has to do with the year these songs came out. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. My number 2 is Boogie Nights. Now, as much as I love this song and that line, not Boogie Nights. That's a different song. As you can tell, I love that movie.
Not even close. Hey,
don't movie. Help but to think about Roller Girl when I think of the Bee Gees. Leave me alone, bro. Me and Doctor up in here.
He was thinking about okay. He had Dirk Diggler on his mind. So,
He clearly did. Clearly.
Hey.
How deep is your love?
Terrible.
All right. So, as you can tell, Stu Sauce just confused this movie with another movie. Are we going to show people what Boogie Nights looks like on the cover, bro? Come on. No, do them a solid so we can see.
No, I don't want to help you.
Oh, you're a jerk. You're a jerk.
He's a diggler.
It's because I picked your song. But it's okay. You don't want to look up Dirk Diggler, especially on your work computer. Don't do that to yourself. All right?
No.
Oh my gosh, all you see is that one part of them. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So my number 1 is definitely How Deep Is Your Love, like hands down. And my number 2 is Saturday Night Fever is that name of the song, right? Is that why you're showing me the movie?
Staying Alive.
Staying Alive.
All of
As
these
you can
songs
tell,
were in this
movie wasn't called Staying Alive. All right, but Saturday Night Fever is one of the Bee Gees songs, right?
Yes.
It's an honorable mention. It's above John Travolta's head, and that's why I confused it. Or I would have said it's above Dirk Diggler's head, being that I have just confused this movie with another movie, Boys and Girls, which you should all watch. Definitely not with your parents. Maybe you want to ask them for permission. I don't know, you 30-year-old people living with your parents. No, I'm kidding. And you want to watch it in the living room with everybody. It's like Porky's. No, but definitely a great family-friendly movie, Boys and Girls. I love it. I love the song.
Now who's old making Porky's references like it's American Pie?
Hey, I had that. Dude, so I had both those movies on VHS to age myself. I remember what a hiss is.
Sounds like a disease you got after some
Sounds
Saturday
like a special one of those diseases that only Stu gets.
It's better than getting the diseases that only you get. Like arthritis. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, there you go.
So now that Stu has thoroughly confused the audience, I'm going to rescind what I was originally going to do and pick Stu's song as number one. No, I'm kidding. I would love to just slap Stu right now and say How Deep Is Your Love is number two, but that would just be so dishonest. I love Staying Alive. I wish it was more singable. I just, who can hit those notes besides the Bee Gees? And for that reason, it's a little less fun for me because I like to be able to connect with a song, to be able to sing along, to be able to play with it, and I feel like Staying Alive is out of my league. You know, it's above my head. It's above my pay grade. And How Deep Is Your Love? I connect with it on such a deep level because there's just a part of me that feels that song so much for so many reasons. To be able to sit down at the piano, the electric piano, and right after playing Just the Two of Us to segue into that, it's just like, who's not going to melt? You don't have to be a porn star because you could get people in real life, Stu.
Hey, man, that's being a porn star works, bro. When you're the one making it, you're not the one watching it always. Well, except in between takes. But you didn't hear that from me.
I'm lost, man. I gotta pass the torch. I'm confused.
Good. Keep it this way.
Let's move on from this stupidity.
There you go.
Good one. Good one. Is that me then?
Now it's you, yeah.
All right. I do want to say this really quickly. Caleb, I was stalking your page earlier, and I did have to go back and watch you playing Just the Two of Us. That was spot on.
In Guitar Center in New York? Yeah. That was a fun one. Valentine's Day. This year somehow.
Yeah. Before the world changed.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, Staying Alive. Which would mean that number one is How Deep Is Your Love. I'm gonna agree with you wholeheartedly, Caleb. Staying Alive is not singable, and I think all of us in this group were singers. I think maybe, I don't know, but we like songs that we could try to attempt to attack vocally, and Staying Alive is a little bit out of my league. I've tried it since I was like 8 years old.
There's no shame in that.
Yeah,
me too.
It's been almost 20 years. If I don't have it now, I'll never have it. But How Deep Is Your Love? I feel like there's so many different ways you can interpret that song. By the original standard of the Bee Gees, or as I said with PJ Morton, or just any which way. I feel like you could sit down and play it on an acoustic guitar or an EP, electric piano, like you said, or just vocally. I'm sure there's a video out there of just the Bee Gees, the three brothers, singing that song so beautifully. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, but they master it. I mean, if you can't sing a song without any backing instruments or any instrumentation, if you can't knock it out of the park a cappella, then I'm sorry. It's just not that. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't move me, which is why I chose it as number one, because I feel like it's a song that no matter how you deliver it, you're going to make ripples in that little pond. So number two, Staying Alive, it moves me, but number one, How Deep Is Your Love, moves me just a little bit more in a couple different directions too. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So I was all ready to accuse Stu of being a party pooper and having him pick the one song that was off. Well, you can tell by the way I move, I walk, and I want it. No time to stop. Ha! I do a little bit.
There you go.
But I won't be the party pooper. I won't be the party pooper. And I have to agree that How Deep Is Your Love is a very, very moving song. A lot more moving than Staying Alive. Even though Staying Alive makes you move, quite literally. But it is indeed, How Deep Is Your Love is probably the one song by the Bee Gees that I was surprised was by the Bee Gees. You know, everything else is so them, so obviously them. And, you know, if someone had told me that How Deep Is Your Love was a song by, I don't know, say Diana Ross, you know, and I didn't know better, I'd be like, yeah, I believe it. I believe it 100%, you know. But it's not. It's obviously the Bee Gees. And a beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous song. So I'm going to go along with you guys. I'm going to agree with you that no matter how classic Staying Alive is, and it is quite the classic. Look at Stu celebrating. Never mind. I changed my mind.
If it makes you feel better, Rod, Stu didn't write it. He didn't win anything. He just claimed it.
I know, he's just claiming victory. I just can't stand him claiming any type of victory, you know? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm being
man,
mean for no reason. I'm being mean
You're
for
just
no
so
reason.
mean, Rod. So mean. You're just so mean. I'm gonna remember this. We'll remember
this. Let's be honest, you won't remember this in 5 minutes. So don't worry about it.
I'm gonna try not to. I try not to remember these. Like that's what makes every time I watch like a surprise. Surprise! I said this. Which, I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna be surprised by a lot of the things I said. Like, man, bro, why'd you say that? You sound stupid, like Serum would have said. Instead, everybody just sounded unanimous with our choices. What?
Nah, so, man, I'm one and done. I said it once. I'm never gonna say it again.
I agree with you guys. How Deep Is Your Love is a moving song, quite special. Probably where the Bee Gees went to another level. So it's awesome. I'm all about it. How Deep Is Your Love, number one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the first time we're unanimous, actually, all the way through.
Yeah, I hard to argue when we all align. Like
so let's test this theory of remembering things. What's the top four, Stu?
The top four was won by me, and that's all that matters. Because we are exotic.
No. You can't just rap like this.
Yeah, no. Let's go.
No, we're not letting you do this.
All right,
at least
number
try
4.
To remember.
I'm talking. Number 3.
Whoa.
A woman. 2.
Whoa.
Rod song because he's jealous. And then number 1, How Deep Is Your Love? The love runs deep, so deep it'll put your ass to sleep like Ice Cube. But it wasn't written by Ice Cube. It was written by the Bee Gees. And it wasn't produced by Dr. Dre. It was produced by some other mother jammer who jammed harder with your mother. At least she made your mother jam, if you know what I'm saying. That's how you became the jelly. Let me tell you what. And again, now can I wrap it up?
I thought you were.
Did I do that correct? Was that right?
You
I forgot.
So
okay, cool. We are the baddest, sexiest mother jammers alive, giving it to you, baby. We are Exotic Yayo. We got C Rome, C Orange, and RR Miss. Bass Rider, giving it to you. I'm Stu. Is that what I said?
Dude, turn off your tremolo pedal.
Yes, Wi-Fi.
We're gonna have to help you out with your Wi-Fi.
Hey, I wouldn't mind if anybody wanted to be my Wi-Fi. Hey, looking for Wi-Fi, baby. Looking for Wi-Fi, especially if you Wi-Fi material.
Wi-Fi material hits you up. You got to plug into him. Show him how deep your love is.
Yeah.
I hope you're not showing me how deep the love is. Bye, everybody. See you guys.
All right.